Okay, today we're going to look at the C major pentatonic scale at the 5th fret. If we're playing at that position, I like to think of it as playing over a G shape. For example, if I put the capo on at the 5th fret and I use a G shape chord shape here, and I play that G shape actually is a C chord. So that becomes a C chord. So I'm using a G shape putting a capo on the 5th fret, and that becomes a C chord. And all the notes on that chord are part of the G or the C major pentatonic scale. So that shape helps me remember the pattern for the C major pentatonic scale at that particular position. Okay, if I was playing a G chord, a regular G chord, and I was going to play a G major pentatonic scale there, it's really simple. All the open strings are part of that scale, and so I can play all open strings in there and they all work. So for example, the pattern would be open, open first string, and then the third, open string, and then the second, open string, second, open string, second, open string, third, open string, third. So I'm going to use the same pattern up here. I'm going to put in my capo here, so I can use that shape to make my G chord or make my C chord. And now the pattern is exactly the same. Open 3, open 2, open 2, open 2, open 3, open 3. Okay, so that shape again helps me remember what that pattern is at that particular position. All right, now I can also add in a couple what they call blue notes. So for example, I'm going to play open string, open E, and then E on, this would be the 8th. Well, yeah, I'll leave the capo on. So we'll just call it out. Open the 5th, the 8th, and then I'm going to play 5, 6, 7. So open or 5th string, 5th fret on E, 8th fret on E, 5, 6, 7 on A, 5, 7 on G, D, 5, 7, 8. There's that blue note again on the G. Then 5, 8, 5, 8 on the E, on the B and E. So 5, 8, 5, 6, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 8, 5, 8, 5, 8. Okay, and you can see that fits really well with that particular shape there. So I'm going to take the capo off and just remember that all those notes at the 5th fret, I can play with my finger now instead of having the capo there. So again, it would be 5, 8, 5, 6, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 8, 5, 8, 5, 8. And I'm including those blue notes, which are here and here. Okay, so those work as part of that pentatonic scale as well, even though it's not truly part of the pentatonic scale. It's a blue note, and you can use it in passing, and it fits very well into that particular part. All right. Okay, let's look at some things we can do, some little ideas we can come up with for fills and riffs out of that position. One thing we can do that fits really well to this are double stops. I can play double stops being two notes at the same time. For example, I can play 5 on B and E. I can play 8 on B and E. I can play 5 on G and B. I can play 7 and 8 on G and B. I can play 5s on D and G. I can play 7s on D and G. I can play 5s on A and D. I can play 7s on A and D, and I can play 8 and 7 on E and A. And I could even play little bits of chords. I can play 5, 7, 7. I can play 5, 7, 7 here. In fact, that 5, 7, 7 here, yeah, that's a good one. Okay, yeah, so that works out really well. So you can play a lot of double stops there. Slides are good. Let's look at the notes that we want to identify for slides. So first, let's identify the roots, where the root is. In other words, where are the C notes on the C major pentatonic scale at this position? Well, they're at E at 8, they're at G at 5, and they're at E at A again. So E8, G5, and E8 again are our C notes. And we want to be aware of those because we want to play around those notes. We also don't want to bend those notes. We can slide into those notes, we can hammer on those notes, we can vibrato those notes, but we don't want to really change the pitch of that note because we want that note to be pure. That's our key, that's what the key is, or the chord we're playing over, or the key that we're playing in. So we want to be able to hear that note as a pure note, not as a bent note. But the rest of the notes, a lot of the other notes, we can bend. We can do a lot of fun things with. So notes that we can bend, particularly this E at 8. These three notes right here, the 5, 6, 7, that'd be the second, flatted third, and third of the scale. Those are all good bend notes. So those are all wonderful notes to bend there. Okay, the 5th and the 6th. Those are all good bend notes. This one here is a good one. These three notes right here, you can either play 5 or 7, 8, 5, or you can play 7, 8, 9. Same note. The 9th here and the 5th here are the same note. So you can have a little run right there. You can bend those notes. And you can bend that B8 up to here. So those are some good bend notes there. Slide notes are real good. You can slide from 5 to 8. You can slide from on the G 5 to 7, or just slide up. You can slide anything from 5 to where the next note is. 5 to 7's here, like a double slide. Hammers and pull-offs work well. There's a lot of neat things you can play around with on this particular pattern. All right, let's go ahead and play over a little bit. Let's show some riffs and fills we can do over a song. Let's pick Hey Good Lookin' because it's in the key of C, and we'll kind of mess around and see what we can come up with on that. All right, so here's Hey Good Lookin' by Hank Williams. And it's in the key of C, so let's give it a shot and see what we got here.
Sweet baby, don't you think maybe we could
Hank. Good job. All right, so those are some ideas you can come up with off that C major pentatonic there. And I'll again put in a link to let you get to my tab sheet. I have some of those notes in there and a little picture of the pentatonic scale. So I hope that helps you out. So, all right, talk to you next time.